Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So, I am going to do an infinity pour. So, I was planning to do this yesterday, but I was not feeling up to it, so I'm feeling much better today. So I'm a day late to do a red, white and blue pour, but here we go. So, I have phthalo blue and cerulean blue. I have white, I have carmine and brilliant red. So the blues and the reds were 33 grams paint, 57 grams floetrol, and 22 grams water. The white, I just made a half mixture because the white can take over a little bit, same with black. So I've just got the white in there, no black this time. But that is the mixture. Now, are they going to be big enough? Ooh, maybe not. Might have to go the next size cup. The next size cup's going to be a little bit big. What do I do? No, I'm going to go the next size up. I'd rather have more space than not enough. So these cups are going to be a bit too big, but it shouldn't really matter if they're too big. It just would if they were too small. So this is a 12 by 16 canvas. And what we are going to do is we're going to pour half the phthalo blue in, half the cerulean, and pour it from a height so it smashes down in a little bit, because that's how you get the effects. And then half the white. Then we're going to go back to the other half of the phthalo blue. And then the last part of the cerulean blue. So all we've done is just made these paints just smash down into each other and just blend a little bit. Doesn't matter that this top part is not blended, the last bit that you scrape out, because it will blend more when you start doing the infinity pour part. So that's the blue done. And you can see there's white bubbling up to the surface. Now we're going to do the red. So we're going to go half brilliant red, half the carmine. So there's not a huge colour difference between these, but I didn't want to put too much pink in it. I think pink, if I had have made a different red, which would have been more pinky, I think it would have affected the look of it. Because this white is going to put some pink in there. Just because the white mixing with the red will change its colour. So there's that. Then we go back to the other half of the brilliant red. And there will be some blending of colours with the blue and the red anyway. So there is going to be quite an assortment of colours and hopefully effects too. Now the rest of the carmine. Awesome. So that's it for the paint cups. Now we're just going to get some gloves on. Glad I used the bigger cup. That definitely would not have fitted in the smaller cup. So the one that I did recently with the purple and the yellow, I loved. I thought it came out with really, really cool effects. So this time I thought, nah, I'm going to do it again, but I want to kind of do these colors. The only difference is I'm going to try and pour. It's a little bit hard when you're doing an infinity pour to control the amount of paint that comes out. But I want to try and do it a little bit slower. So I'm going to do the spin. Alright, I'm losing a bunch, so I'm going to stop. Get that back into the middle. So the red's going to be, so sometimes it just depends which way it comes out, but the red looks like it's going to be more dominant over the blue in this. But who knows once we start stretching? That's the fun of it. So what I am going to do now is just tilt it over some corners. So because it's quite, it's not very thick, it's a lot thinner, this type of, when you do infinity pours. Just going to take a little bit easy, and when it goes over, just get that corner. Whoops, that didn't go so easy, did it? Might go up to this corner now. So you could always use a corner catcher if you wanted to. Let's just go for it. Pour it over. Pour it over. Okay, now from here, decide what you want to keep and what you want to pour off. If you want to lose any more, let's go there. So sometimes it's hard to decide how much you actually want to, what parts of it you want to keep and what parts you want to pour over the edge. But I can see a whole bunch of effects coming up. So now I'm just going to move the paint around and try and come back to the middle each time. So I'm just stretching out the paint a bit now. Just going back and forth. Still a fair bit of paint on the canvas, but I don't want to lose any more, because what's happening is, I don't know if you guys can see it too well. Can you see all the speckles that are coming up all around the edges? So underneath that red is all these little blue like cells, but they're not normal cells. They're kind of like, just, it's hard to explain. They're more effects. So when you do infinity pours, you get an assortment of different effects when they don't turn out like a cell as if you were using silicone, but you do get really different assortments of different colors and things. Like, see the white is starting to show through. If anything, the white is kind of bubbling up a little bit and going a little bit cloud formation. Over here, you've got the blue with the red little like mini cells coming up. And then in the red, you've got the blue specks that are coming through. There's quite a lot down the bottom here. So this here will slightly alter because it is quite thin, the paint. So it does change its effects over time. So all I'm going to do is just wiggle it back and forth from this corner to this corner, so it doesn't change my picture too much, but it stretches out the paint. Because that there does actually cause more things to happen and transform. I'm going to run my fingers underneath and just grab off this excess paint. I will scrape underneath, but for now I'm just getting off the excess so it stops dripping for the moment. And the paint will kind of settle back where it wants to because it is thin. Alright, I'm going to stop moving the paint around. So it did come out a lot more red, but the blue is definitely there, and the blue's kind of showing itself quite well. And then you got this white. Look at all these little white specks that have kind of come through. But what I find awesome, throughout this red down here, can you see all the little blue dots that have appeared? And they've happened all the way around. And then over here where you've got the blue, can you see the red specks that have come through? Come through there, come through there. There's a few over here. Not as many. Oh, there's a bunch down here in this bottom corner. So that's what I mean by effects. They just, it just does kind of what it wants to do. So here's the other one with the yellow and purple. See how I kind of got like purple lightning going through the yellow, and I've got these bubble effects over here. So quite different effects kind of show up in its own way. And you don't always really know what you're going to get. I was expecting it to be more blue than red, but the way that you do the infinity part, the red just became over the top of the blue, but now the blue's pushing itself up and giving you all these little cool effects. And then the same, the red's pushing up through the blue. I really like this. Quite pleased. I am going to torch it because there was water in the paint. When you put water in the paint, you tend to get more bubbles. So I'm just popping the bubbles. Fantastic. I'm pretty happy with this. So there may be more effects appear in the next, I don't know, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Probably won't change the image too much. It'll probably just be maybe a few more specks will show up, or the ones that are already there might enlarge. You also do get quite interesting edges to your canvas when you do infinity pours. It's usually because of the thinness of the paint that the edges kind of just show a little bit more interest. So that's it. I don't need to do any more now. Quick and easy. Because you do add water to it, you make it thinner. You don't use a lot of paint. So each colour only had 33 grams paint, except for the white had less. So you can kind of experiment and change it around. And you don't have to put like 2 blues and 2 reds. You can actually mix them in these cups first, have two different colors completely, and then when you do the infinity pour, you get more mixture again by the 2 colors overlapping and interweaving. And this is where this one turned out good. If you normally do purples and yellows, or purples, yellows and oranges, you get a lot of brown. There's not a lot of brown in this. There's a couple of little bits of brown tones through this, but it doesn't look brown at all. So you can actually blend colors that you normally wouldn't put near each other. Like red and blue would normally make purple. I don't see any purple in this whatsoever. I see red, I see blue, and I see white. So that is the fun with infinity pours. You can blend those colors that normally you would find a little bit challenging or difficult. But all these cool effects. I'm really, really happy. So I'm going to get the camera and bring you down for a close-up. Okay, so there we go from here. Where's our color range? That's probably a little bit more correct from what I see now. But for the moment, looks cool. But as we get closer, look at all this coolness. So see all the blue specks coming through the red. You got the white, and then here you got the red coming through the blue. The same here. Red coming through the blue coming through the red. A couple of different colors in that white patch there. Nice assortment of effects all the way up here. This is an artwork that you kind of got to do it and see it up close in real life to really see how awesome all the different little kind of features are in it. You've got this blue lightning running through the red. And I've done infinity pours with quite a few different colors before, and I've found they've actually been really cool. So there we go. Let me know what you guys think. Not too long a video today, so I hope you enjoyed it. So like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell and click all. So hope you had fun, and I'll see you soon for another pour. Okay, bye.